So here we are, ladies and gentlemen. This is the debriefing from the second day Utopia project. It is about, more or less 6:30 in the evening. So on the one hand, we're done for the day and we prepare ourselves for the evening event. Betty, Dagam, how do you feel? How was the day?
Wonderful. Today was such a great experiment that even led to so many explorations, identifying things that we didn't really come across even before. So I think today is a really good day.
Good. Dagam, what do you think?
No, it was an awesome. It was like we expected. We can't say beyond expectation because we always have higher expectations. So it was like as awesome as we expected it. We talked about a lot of things. We talked about functions, resources, people, spaces, and we just did our afternoon workshop about connection between functions. And I think it was an interesting day, and we debated a lot about like what the location base should be like, how it should feel, and how the experience should be. And I hope our debates, I'm pretty much sure that our debates will lead to something really amazing. And that always what fascinates me about our creative process is we have no clue what we're creating. We just we know about the process.
Don't say we do not have a clue. No, we have a clue. We are experts. We're the absolute.
Hear me out. We're clear about the process, but we don't know what's going to come out of it. And I think that's the best way to ever create anything. If you're pretty much sure, if you know what you're creating, then you don't even have to create it. It's already been there. And that's what we mean by thinking really outside of the box. If you need to think of something you haven't thought about. It's for us also, it's a learning process, like all of our previous projects.
I think that's the difference between creating and copying. So and I don't like this, there are colleagues of mine, consultants, that they have a special model, a standard that they use. So whenever they come to a project, they use this standard model, and finally the project has to find a way to fit in their model. And this is something like, it's something that I really don't like, and I truly believe that it doesn't work. And of course it is this certain kind of energy, I think, because that means you need to be very open-minded during the whole day. So it's probably it would be much easier if we just say, well, there's this standard program, so let's follow this path and make everything easier. But this is something like even for us, we can grow on this project again. So
Yeah, I mean, what Dagam was saying, when we have no clue, which I also agree with, is just a methodology in terms of we bring a beginner's mindset. It's always dealing with new challenges, right? So we can even reframe or rethink what having no clue means as a positive way of actually dealing with different challenges. So, and that's always what we do, which we're great at now, creating different methodologies.
And even this is something that you do in the game as well. So this is like the path to mastery. So we have, and this is something like maybe this is what we have is that we found our sound, we found our groove, and our groove creates our path to mastery, not the individual one. So as a group of 3 people, we found our path to mastery. And what I found out is, and this was quite interesting today, this feeling of to trust you both. You know what I mean? So we can trust each other, not only the way that we do not blame each other or do not harm each other. It's just like, I trust this energy that we have. I trust this, sometimes we talk about nonsense, and at the end we have a project idea. You know what I mean? It's like, it's sometimes afraid.
There is this term, I don't know if you know it, it's called creative confidence. So creative confidence, it's usually it's what's required in a lot of creatives. So what a creative confidence means is, deep down inside, even though you're only on the journey, you haven't reached the destination, you have this confidence that the process will take you there. And you're not feeling, like you said, you talked about you trust the system, you trust the people that are surrounding you, you trust the process that you're using. and you are almost 99.99% sure that it's going to reach you, take you to some place new. And you were talking about this, like, yes, you can have a framework, and usually it's good for mass production. If you have, like, let's say 1,000 clients, yes, you just print, copy and paste and solve all problems. But whenever you're encountering a new challenge, let's say, like transforming a city, where every city is different and context really matters, now you can't actually use one size fits all kind of methodology.
No.
For each, like, you need to really understand, like, what we've been doing, like, perceive it, understand it, brainstorm over it, and find the cure for it. So I think that's where I am. Like, I feel confident.
Yes.
That really we're on this in the right path.
I think I have one perfect analogy for this. When people say a financial stability is what I'm looking for, it's usually the wrong way to actually go at it.
Yeah.
But you need people to become financially confident.
Yeah.
So that they know they are going to be able to make more money if they lost it at one point. If you're stable, it just means you use the same method to get it. And whenever that method is broken, then you can't make it again. The same thing with what Dagam has said already and what you have said, Christoph. It's not creative stability that we have. It's not the same one thing that we use for a lot of things, but the creative confidence, which really allows us to kill something and then start something new just because we know we can recreate it.
Yes.
And done, yes.
Yes, and especially, as Dagam said, if you have something where you say one size fits it all, so what you get is something that fits, where the size fits it all. So, it's like finally you get something which is just like there's no special thing in it. It is just something. Yeah, it's like food. Yeah, so you can eat spaghetti and with a tomato sauce, and you just say, okay, what I need is spaghetti and tomatoes, and that's done. So there's a standard. So kind of it fill you so and stuff like that, and you will gonna survive and while eating spaghetti and tomato. But there are 100,000 herbs and other ingredients that you could put in. It's still spaghetti, tomato, but it makes it. Every day you eat it, it creates a new experience. So even if you find out that garlic is an interesting thing, and sometimes you do it with garlic, sometimes without, and that's quite interesting for me. It's like even like working with you both is always like on the one hand there is kind of basic element that we can trust each other, that we know we are mad enough to find a way to solve the task at the end. But on the other side, this kind of basic trust gives us the possibility to do all this crazy stuff too, and we trust each other that we are as mad as possible. Yeah, so I truly believe that there is nothing that there's no border for us. There is no frontier. There's no limitation. Yeah, it doesn't mean that we can fly to the moon or something like this. We might be a good partner to Elon Musk, thinking about the architecture of the first moon base. Yeah, that could be a good idea, and it's going to be fun, by the way. But it's like I think there are no limitations, and I think that's, even if you think about cities, I guess most of the cities are, they're just limitations. They're not options. So it's like there's this song about New York, this New York song from Frank Sinatra. If I can make it there, I make it everywhere, and stuff like that. And this song always gives you the feeling that this is about, this is a very special place, and it's very open and whatever. I truly believe that even these cities like New York are not that open as they want to be, and they're very often just limit the options that you have, and not open them. Yeah, and there's something to do with how we perceive cities in the end. And I like the workshop that you did this afternoon, Dagam, when you were talking about the functions. And this was very, very cool.
Yeah, I think like if you ask me, like the way I perceive everything, I think like it's from I think my background, like I always see people, processes, and product. I think that's how we learned it, like people, process, and product, people, process, and product. And a lot of people tend to focus on the product first. Most people only see the product, like the buildings, the things, the items, and some people dare enough to see the process. And like if you see the process, now you're better because you don't care about the product, you're seeing the process. And I remember it was Simon Sinek who was talking about, he was visiting Microsoft, and then he visited Apple, and they were like, he was telling the Apple guys, you see the Zune, you remember the Zune? Like the iPod, like the iPod by Microsoft, and he was showing them the Zune and saying the Zune is much better than the iPod. And the Apple guy said, we know, but it's not about the product. It's actually about the process. Yes. We're not making just a fancy product. We're making something that for people. And at the end, we saw like Zune died and iPod still exists. So then like, but for those who really, really dare, then you can see beyond the process and into the people as well. So what we're trying to do is like, at the end of the day, every issue is a human issue. Like at the end of the day, there are human beings. Yes. So that's why we always say context matter, that the design for Ludopia, like Ludwigshafen, is completely different from the design for Addis Abeba, because the people are different, their context is different, their culture is different, their language different, their meaning is different. And that's what we said yesterday as well. Transformation is finding new meaning for whoever is going to use it.
Yes.
And I think like that's what functions are. At the end of the day, when we see functions, it's about the people who are using it.
Yes. And it's about the willing to go deeper. So it's not just be, it is more kind of be something, get an identity. It's like with us, it's like, you know, we work together, and it's like when we do these processes, we are always open for the pain that comes with it. Yeah, it's like, you know, the funny thing is, like, think about, you know, in the restaurant. So in the old times, there was the kitchen, and the kitchen was a magical space. You were unable to look in. Yeah, so something was happening over there, and what you would get with the food. Yeah, and it was very important that you not see what the cook is doing. Then they came up with show cooking. So whenever you go, there's the option of seeing how the funny thing is, it's show cooking. It's show cooking. It's not interactive cooking. It's not be part of this. Yeah, and this is quite funny. It gives you the feeling that you are part of the kitchen, but you're not part of the kitchen. At the end, it's just the Disney version of cooking. Yeah, and what we do is we go to the kitchen and tell the guys, we want to try out all the options that are here, and they say, okay, it might hurt, you know, and maybe yes, of course, that's the reason why we are here, not because we like the pain, but we are able to deal with it together, and we can trust each other, and so that's the reason why we can go so deep. Yeah, and it's important to be deep. It's important to have this very strong connection in that way. And I guess this is one of the elements is the diversity. Yeah, so we are like, this is okay. It sounds a bit magical or spiritual, but I guess we are 100% the same, and we are 100% diverse. You know what I mean? Yeah, so and we can be, it's like physics, we can be this in the same moment, like the quarks or whatever. I don't know, I didn't understand this concept totally, but it is like the physical concept. But I think that we can talk to each other, and we are like one body, like one thing. On the other hand, we are totally diverse. Yeah, and that creates this energy. I don't know whether it makes sense to you, but it's like,
it does.
I even had this feeling today, so yeah.
Yeah, completely. 100% different, but also 100%. It's like a yin and yang at times, and we can be against each other at points, but then also like really come to this certain agreement when even unexpected. But anyways, we're also really good at going to tangents to be inspired by something. And so trying to keep this video probably as short as possible for whomever will be watching it. Our topic is debriefing for today.
Yeah.
And I think, and I would just like to pick out one sentence or phrase that was said today that really inspired me. We assume when we design cities, we assume what people would want. We assume, I think it's a little bit related to also what Dagam said, not really taking in consideration formats and existence of people and how they behave around things. So this level of assumptions that people carry whenever they are making something for humans is, I think, the biggest hurdle in making something interactive. And so I would say for me, wrap it up with this sentence. If there's any word or phrase maybe that caught you guys, then maybe we can also wrap it with that.
Yes, this is something that I wonder how it will be to watch this video in 5 years. To say what it is. And if it comes to the debriefing, of course, finally, the debriefing is the wrong moment because we're going to have the evening event. And I'm so looking forward to the evening event. And I know what will happen. And I hope that a lot of people will come today, this evening event, because, you know, I'm a bit afraid about what if everyone who attends on this evening event says at the end, in the future, we want to have city development like this because it's better. You know, just think about it. And I won't tell the people now what we will do. So that means they need to, whatever, I don't know. But yeah.
I think this is makes the evening session really fascinating. As you know about this saying, right?
Yeah.
Do not think of a monkey. Have you heard of that saying? Like, the moment I say do not think of a monkey, what you're going to do is think of a monkey.
Okay. Yeah.
Monkey, right? And usually when you talk about creativity and thinking outside the box, if we're using the same brain that we're using for thinking something new, it's almost impossible. Like, we have to outsource it for an external entity so that we can come up with really genuine ideas. And I think that the evening session is all about that. Like, how can you get inspired and how can you really get out of yourself? And I think like people need to come and see it.
Yes. So therefore, obviously they will not see it because this video will be posted after the evening session, but they might answer, they might send us questions. Maybe we receive some comments and they will ask, okay, what did you do this evening? What did you do? We want to know more about it. So, and then, yeah, and what about doing the following? If there are 5 or 6 people that are asking about this, we're going to make a free online session for these people and repeat what we will do this evening. What about this? Yeah, for free.
Yeah.
That's cool. All right, so I guess we are done with the debriefing now. And so we prepare ourselves now to be online in about 15 minutes for the evening session. I guess we started 7, right? We started 7?
Yeah. Yes.
Yes, we started 7. So yes, this will be it. Thanks, guys, by the way, for this wonderful day. And thanks that I can go on with you this evening and the next day. So this is cool.
Wonderful.
It's day 2 of day 15, so we have a long days to go. Bye-bye. See you.
Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone.